Samson, he traded 20% size and fullness for 2% conditioning.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So a champion is defined the way he acts in defeat. Because everybody's happy when they're winning. So Samson Dauda getting fourth in his first ever title defense that has been the biggest shocker of this year's Olympia weekend for the whole of bodybuilding world. Because the thing is, no one saw that coming, and you have got to appreciate his sportsmanship and the way he handled this whole situation. So the first official response by Samson Dauda after the Olympia this year that is now out, explaining what really happened. Now, you have got to feel bad for this man. All he kept on hearing for the last couple of years, that was one word: condition, condition. He went through a lot of suffering throughout this year's Olympia prep, and at some point, we will get to hear from them how much carbs he was taking in, especially in those last 6 weeks. I'm guessing they must have been very low. So that only means more pain, more suffering. So basically he went through hell and so much struggle just to hear everyone telling him the exact opposite of what they were saying before. Bring back the size. Now, I'm going to agree with Ian Valier here and his assessment that Samson sacrificed about 20% of size for 2% of better conditioning, and that just wasn't worth it. Now, Samson himself admitted that it hurts, and it is also a big financial loss for him. I mean, in terms of the prize money, he went from winning $600,000 last year to merely making $40,000 as he came in fourth this year at the Olympia. So this is the worst possible weekend that Samson Dauda could have imagined in every aspect. But that being said, by no means, this is the end. Just this comparison of him hitting the most muscular from the Arnold this year versus the Olympia this year, that is enough to show you how much size he lost. And I am very confident that his body is gonna soak up all the nutritions like crazy in the coming weeks, and he will be back to that size in no time. And a bigger Samson Dauda, that will always be dangerous in any bodybuilding show, no matter what. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So Andrew Jacked emerged as the real people's champion after the Olympia this year, and he also put out the official response after the Olympia. A bit emotional, but very grateful for what he was able to accomplish at the Olympia weekend this time. His career's best placing to date, and also the self-belief that now he's very close to winning the Olympia. Now, as soon as Andrew Jacked, he covers the ground in the side shots, in terms of conditioning from the back, I'm telling you guys, he's gonna be unstoppable. Even with some of those discrepancies that he had in his physique, so many people out there, they saw him winning the Olympia. Multiple experts, after the prejudging, who were there in attendance, they said that their eyes, they were constantly drawn towards one guy, and that was Andrew Jacked. Just because he was too damn huge, and the man is put up together so beautifully. So James Hollingshead, he put out this story after the finals that Andrew should get the Olympia. So he fell 2 spots short this time. But he gave a big warning to everyone in the men's open that he's on the right track now and his time is coming. So this 2025 Olympia version of Andrew Jacked, that will be remembered as one of his most beautiful physiques to have stepped on a bodybuilding stage in the last decade or so. And what was also very different, that was Andrew's personality on the stage. That was his fighting spirit. At one point, he was commanding so beautifully on the stage and single-handedly hyping up the crowd. So I legit think he's just one big offseason away from getting that send-out. And now that he got 3rd place, he's already qualified for the Olympia next year. So this offseason, that could be coming.
Terrence Ruffin.
So if you guys haven't watched Terrence Ruffin and his posing routine, then you guys must do that. The most impressive posing routine of this entire Olympia weekend, and by a mile. So he's a true master of his craft. Terrence was definitely among the favorites to win this year's Olympia title in Classic and getting top 3, that must have been very disappointing. But looking at the brighter side, he went from 5th, the last time he was on that stage, to 3rd. So Terrence has also put out an official response today. And of course he's disappointed because he put all this hard work to win this show, but as an athlete, the best he can do is to take that feedback from the judges, come back next year with an even better physique, which is something that he can still do. Because I believe he's the only one who still has room to grow to get bigger without the fear of that weight cap. So he can legit make some serious improvements without worrying about that. So there are some areas in Terrence's physique where the judges would like to see more muscularity, and he is one of the hardest working guy in the entire IFBB. So at one point during the finals, it kind of seemed like that Terrence is gonna pull it off because he was the most classic looking guy in that top 3. But all that being said, his confidence still is sky high, and the man looks to be in great spirits after the Olympia.
All right, guys, the Olympia is over. We placed 3rd this year, but I'm honestly very grateful. Not what we asked for, not what we wanted, not what we worked for, but a lot better than the last couple years. So that is a blessing. Came in 10 pounds heavier, placed 2 places higher than 2023. And we got some awesome feedback from the judges. I'll share that a little bit later, but shout out to everyone who supported me. Shout out to my team, Raw, Dart Sport, Bolt, Iron Rebel, and Intake Breathing. And this is not the end, just the beginning, man. I'm really feeling really good. Gonna get some food in me and set up the game plan for 2026. Peace.
So as a reporter, it's my responsibility to put this info out there. And it will seem like an excuse, but several reports out there now confirming that Behrouz Tabani was suffering from a dental infection. And that happened during the peak week. And that led him to use antibiotics and other medicines.
And not looking for excuses, but as he's already saying, many people knew he had a major tooth infection for like last 5 days.
So this must have been the leading cause on why Behrouz Tabani wasn't as dry or as shredded as he normally is when he steps on the stage. Now forget about his legs for a moment. The trademark, hardness, roundness and conditioning that Behrouz is always known for. He wasn't even close to that at the Olympia stage, despite being one of those very consistent IFBB pros in the last 3 years or so. So that is the info put out there by Milos, his coach, after the prejudging. And we also have an official response by Behrouz Tabani. As stated earlier, him getting his visa, that was a good enough victory for him. So there are going to be many Olympias that Behrouz Tabani is gonna do. And the man seemed extremely grateful for this opportunity. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.